What is going on, boys and girls, ladies and gents? Welcome to another installment of the Chelsea Hour. You guys already know how this works. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Be sure to smash up the like if you haven't done so already. Be sure to also hype up the video if you have hype points to spare, and check out the memberships. Listen, it's been a while since we've done the show. It's been pretty hectic getting a guest on November, December, and this time of the year, holiday period. It does get a little hectic with everyone's schedule. So pardon me for the delay, ladies and gents. But it's nice to have a Chelsea Hour back, especially, and pardon also the delay, especially knowing now we're gonna go 2 legs against Arsenal in the Carabao Cup. We just finished watching that penalty shootout, and unfortunate for Crystal Palace, Lacroix missing the last penalty there and Kepa saving it. And yeah, Arsenal are now on to the next round against us. 2 legs. It's going to be an interesting one. But I'm not the only one that's going to be speaking today. Obviously, you guys know him. You probably love him. You kind of be weird if you hated him. I don't know. There's nothing really to hate about the guy. maybe because the Pochettino takes he had last season, which maybe we might talk. But I listen, Alex, he's the guy who we all go to get a real pulse of what the fan base is feeling at the ground, especially us here on the other side of the pond who really don't get a chance to experience what the fans are like at Stamford Bridge. Alex does a phenomenal job of Chelsea Fan TV of getting it all done and giving us that perspective, and also coming to the States and doing it as well. So you may know him from Chelsea Fan TV and all the countless interviews he's done with the fans over there. You may know him from us reacting to him last year when, or 2 years ago when he was trying to defend Poch. And yeah, we'll probably bring that up. And listen, at the end of the day, we all want what's best for the club, and that's all that matters, right? So we just have different ways of going about it. But yeah, ladies and gents, he's obviously a great supporter of the club and doing great work for us as Chelsea fans, and great content over on Chelsea Fan TV. You know him. I'm going to roll it out. The drum roll, please. Guys, give it up for Alex from Chelsea Fan TV.
What an intro.
Of course, man. I got to roll out the red carpet. Of course.
I love it. That's brilliant.
I'm absolutely stoked to have you here. Thank you for
Casually
coming on.
FC.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on, man. I really appreciate you taking the time to come on here. And obviously, if you guys haven't seen it as well, I went over on Chelsea Fan TV. Be sure to check out that video. It was me, Fatur, Alex, and Warren, I believe, was the fourth character.
Right.
Yeah. So be over there, check it out, and yeah, show your support. And we talked about a variety of stuff like we're gonna do today. But Alex, talk to me, my man. How you feeling? You just watched that final result just like me, so maybe a little bit maybe excited, actually.
I'll be honest with you. I in a weird way, I feel like Palace would have been just as hard as Arsenal.
Yeah.
So I don't really feel like it's going to be any easier. But at the same time, I was like, I'd rather Palace win, obviously. I was a bit gutted when they... I got a notification on Twitter as well. I was thinking, for God's sake, someone's always 30 seconds ahead. That's the reason I couldn't watch it on your stream, because you were behind me. So I would have ruined it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Good run by Palace. Fair play to them. And yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be a great atmosphere, though. Arsenal creates 100%. An atmosphere. I don't think we would have had that against Palace. So I think people will definitely be more up for it.
Yeah, 100%. And you could tell, I mean, the atmosphere for Arsenal in that game alone it can be intimidating. And fair play to Crystal Palace. They stepped up, and even some of the youngsters that kicked some of those penalties, it's hilarious because it was Lacroix who was responsible for that first goal. That was also responsible for not making his penalties. So feel bad for him. He's not going to have a good ride home from the game today. But yeah, I think you're right. I mean, it was going to be a really tough game regardless, in my opinion. Crystal Palace, I mean, we drew to them early in the season. They've gotten some, good results out of some big sides this season. Glasner's no joke. And so it would have been a tough one. I wouldn't be surprised if we were in penalties in that situation as well with them. So yeah, good for them. But I guess in terms of the leg, how are you feeling now that you know that our opponents are going to be Arsenal? Do you feel confident? Maybe trepidatious?
I think we can beat them 100%. I think we can beat them 100%. Very, very confident. I would have been confident that we could have beat Palace, but I still would have felt like it's a really difficult game. I don't know what it is. There's who's on the other side of the draw? I'm just trying to think off the top of my head.
Newcastle and City.
I would have rather played Arsenal or Palace over Newcastle or City, because you've got to play Newcastle away. True. And to be honest with you, I just think City would beat us. So I'm hoping that maybe we get a fluke, I say a fluke result, a good result for Newcastle in the final, and then we can beat Arsenal. I think at Wembley, we surely have got to win something at Wembley as well, because I've been like God knows how many times. I saw us win at Wembley, to be fair. Like I've seen us win many, many times. I was there against Portsmouth. I was there against Liverpool. Oh, I've seen some great ones, but in recent times, we're cursed. So we need to break that curse. And anyone who disrespects the Carabao Cup this season is just as important as an FA Cup. It doesn't matter. As long as it's the domestic trophy for me, I'm very, very happy. And I think that a trophy on top of what I think will be a better points tally than last season, that shows progression, because we're in the Champions League. It's just a different kettle of fish. So, I mean, if we were able to rotate with 2 11s, then it would have been great for Maresca. That's what we could do last year. But now you've really got to pick and prioritize. And I think that it takes obviously a little bit of luck, because you don't want to have injuries. But you like we saw James play 3 times in 7 days, and he's still fit, and it worked to an extent. I mean, we dropped a number of points, but like, imagine if we didn't play James. Fucking hell, it could have been even worse. So, I mean, we never know what could have happened, but. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. January is going to be a really, really stacked up month. It's my birthday as well. So,
hey, happy early birthday.
They used to do the semi-final of the Carabao Cup on my birthday on the 24th, 25th, around that weekend. They did that for years. I'm sure I've had like maybe not FA Cup final, but yeah, Carabao Cup finals on my birthday. And they just kept pushing it back. It's now in March, I think, right?
I believe, no, wasn't it in February last year? Or maybe
it was
March.
Yeah, that's what I meant. My
it was February and March. I remember Newcastle lifting that trophy.
They wouldn't have pushed it back that far. But I don't know why they keep pushing it back. I'm guessing
it's just all the
just so many
fixture schedules, man. It's just all the fixtures that we have to play, and I think I feel like even the start of the Prem has been pushed back a little bit more, just because of all that stuff that happens in the summer, between whether it be this year was a Club World Cup, last year was Euros and Copa America. Like there's always that slot in the summer, and this year now we're gonna have World Cup. I just feel like to try to fit into that schedule, they've had to push back the start of the league, and they're probably gonna I wouldn't be surprised if they do a start of the league would be like mid to late August next season, just because the World Cup is
usually
expanded
like
now.
the second week of August, isn't it?
Yeah,
like-
I feel
like
like
the
it's going to
first
be either
2
the
weeks.
third or the last week this year, because the World Cup, with all the games and just the expanded version of it, I think, what is it, 38 teams, I think, 42 teams, I forget.
They're gonna expand it as well. They're gonna make it bigger.
How
So
many
whatever it is
teams in
this
the
year
World Cup?
is gonna get bigger. But
48 teams. It's a lot of teams.
how many? 38 or 48?
48.
Woo!
Yeah.
Goodness.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, Marshall, mate. I'm not going. I don't know anyone who's going, to be honest with you. It's so expensive, man.
It is.
America is a lot of money. And I've done the Club World Cup. I kind of knew before I went as well. I was like, what would I prioritize? No, I was like, come on, mate. I'd rather go to the Club World Cup. I love England.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very proud to be English. I've followed England. I was at the World Cup semi-finals in Moscow. I did the Euros final last year, or last year, can't remember. And I've had some cracking times, even when we lose, and we lose most of the time when I go. But England's support is unmatched.
Yeah,
it is better than Chelsea, without a shadow of doubt. Because I'll tell you the one thing about England, mate, is first of all, it's always multiple days, so you're not just drinking as much as you can in the space of a few hours for a match. You can chill, you can have some food, you can go out. And also the songs, mate, they're all like happy songs. They're like sing-songs. So you can sing them for hours.
The bar songs you're referring to?
No, but like after a few hours of Carefree and Chelsea, like your throat goes. You can't keep doing it. Whereas England, you can sing a little bit more. It's a bit more relaxed. So I always love following England, but nah, man, it's too expensive.
No, it makes sense. Like, and what you're referring to price-wise isn't even the flight; it's the ticket itself.
It's everything, man. It's everything. Hotels, mate. Tips. I can't stand tips. I can't stand them, mate. You know, even in England, they put sometimes like complimentary service tips, and honestly, if the service isn't good, and most of the time it's fine, but if it's not good, I'm like, I'm not paying it. I'm not doing it. Well, I feel insulted the fact that they put it on there automatically. They don't even ask.
Yeah, it's different in Europe, because just fun fact for those who, don't live in the U.S. and don't know this, but like the justification for tipping here in the U.S. is always that we're paying our staff less so that you can get more affordable food, but that depends on you to tip them now. Versus just having it be, and I'm convinced it's not making the food more affordable.
The food is expensive as hell.
Yeah,
it's so expensive. Even like Applebee's and places like that. Yeah. It's not cheap, man. It's not cheap. Not at all. You won't go to a restaurant and spend less than $20 on a meal. You won't spend less than $20.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah, you're not wrong, and it's a shame. Like I totally get the sentiment of not coming to the U.S. for the World Cup just because of like, and this is the unfortunate part. And we're gonna run into all these problems, and I'm gonna probably talk about it on the channel at some point when we get to the World Cup. But traveling, it's expensive. Even like, and I was gonna ask you, how did Club World Cup go for you? Because outside of CB, I don't know any other Chelsea fan that was actually traveling to most of the games. The only game I know CB one really missed was the one in Kansas, which was against Benfica. And yeah, he was at all of them, barring that one. And even that I know was pricey because it's not close. It's not close. In order for example, we met in Philly after Palmeiras.
Yeah.
That area is not bad because you can get a hotel and it's an hour and a half drive, depending on where you get the hotel, to an hour and a half drive to MetLife for one of the other stadiums, and vice versa for Philadelphia. So you can justify that travel if you rent a car or something like that, maybe take a train. Georgia, on the other hand, is like 8 to 9 hours south of there. You if you take a plane, it's like an hour.
Yeah.
But it's expensive to take a plane. It's not like a train. You pay a fare and boom, you get there in like 2-3 hours. Not like in Europe. So it's going to be a nightmare. And it's on top of that, the expensive tickets as well. But how did you get by in Club World Cup? You only went there for the Palmeiras game, right?
No. I was there for like 3 weeks.
What game were you there for?
I was there for a few weeks. I flew into Atalanta. I was there for the LAFC game. I was there for. There was another game. No. There was one game in Atlanta, and then we drove. We actually drove through Charlotte, North Carolina, or South Carolina. I can't remember.
Yeah, they're both there.
Where was we stopped off in Washington, saw the White House.
Nice. So you were in Philly at that point. Yeah, you were either in Maryland, Baltimore, and then you went up to Philly.
We went to Philadelphia. We saw. I can't even remember the games. There's so many. We played Flamengo, right? That was the first one we played.
The group stage was Tunis, Flamengo, and LAFC.
Yeah, so it was LAFC first, then Flamengo, then Tunis.
Yes.
And then after that, we went to New York. And it is so random, but like half of my family was in New York at the time, so really coincidentally we just like hung out with my dad's side of the family in New York, and then we were due to go to Florida thinking the game was going to be in Miami, and it was obviously in Charlotte because we lost to Flamengo. And that's why, because I was due to go to that game. I was going to go to Miami. So then we stayed in Florida for like a week, and we decided in the end we weren't going to go to the other game in Philly, but I said screw it, and I bought the flights, and then me and Rachel, we went up there, we watched that game, and I could have stayed for longer, I'll be honest with you. I decided to go after the semi-finals because I'm self-employed, so I needed to work. I was I've had a good time. I've had a very
kudos, because the commitment was there. You did all that traveling, and I remember that it was a nightmare booking the travel, because I think all of us Chelsea fans expected to finish the group with 9 points. So
easily. Course.
So when we lost to Flamengo, not only did Chelsea lose, but Chelsea fans lost financially, because rebooking the tickets and rescheduling all your travel and the hotels, it must have been a nightmare.
I mean, the best thing next time is just to get like travel insurance and book both of them, and you can cancel one of them. And like, if I have to take a $50 hit, all right, I can live with that. At least I've got the right flight, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, man. But yeah, that was the flight. The internal flights are horrendous. I couldn't believe the delays on some of those. Mate, I was due to get on the flight to Florida, and I basically watched the whole game in the airport because there was constant delays, and I was in and out. I don't know if you guys have that all the time. I mean, we have it with trains occasionally, but it's not that bad.
It's it's gotten pretty bad, I think, after the pandemic. Just flights get delayed almost all the time. So, I mean, even today, we were talking on your show, or even mentioned it to you. I'm planning to go to London in mid-January, which is going to be fun. We'll obviously link up, and obviously
Paphos, right?
Paphos, yeah. And obviously, anyone watching right now, just expect there will be vlogs and all that stuff, and you'll see Alex on there as well. But even just booking that flight, I'm coming back from another flight, and I saw how late I was coming back, so I was like, you know what, just let's move the flight to the next day, because this is too close for me to just transfer from one to the other, knowing how we get delayed all the time. Like, God forbid I have an hour delay on the flight back home to get the flight to London, and then I miss my flight to London, so I didn't want to take the risk. But yeah, that's just kind of how it is here in the U.S. Unfortunately, it's going to be a nightmare during the World Cup. So you'll definitely see that. But let me ask you this, Alex: was for you, because I reacted to you on the channel some time ago, and you were in defense of Poch, which at the time it was very much, people were here and there. You were very much against Maresca, and again, you weren't the only one. And I think, considering how the fans at the stadium were at the bridge, there's probably that influence as well. And again, I don't blame anyone who wanted to keep Poch. I think towards the end, you saw a little bit of a run. You had the right to believe that maybe things were turning around, and to an extent, even part of me believed, okay, maybe that could happen. Obviously, he gets the sack, Maresca comes in, and you weren't a big fan. What was Club World Cup the turning point for you, where you started backing Maresca?
Yes, absolutely. To be honest, I gained a lot of respect for Maresca after winning the Conference League and the Champions League. I mean, I said outside Nottingham Forest, I said it, and people take the piss out of me, but I said I'm 1/3 of the way there. You know, just win the Conference League, and then let's see what we do in the Club World Cup, or I think I might have said I'm halfway there. I can't remember, but like what he did was remarkable. It was remarkable. You got to think. It's like I don't know how long you've been on the YouTube scene. I don't know, but it's like someone coming in and no one's really heard of them, and they've got this challenge. I'm going to get 100,000 subscribers, and it's like next thing you know, within a year they've done it. I'm trying to think. Joey Knight, like he's a great example. The guy hit 100K, bang, and some people just burst onto the scene like that.
Don, to an extent, is kind of showing that growth too.
That's the thing. So that's the analogy, really. I mean, Maresca has gone from being a nobody to someone that can be taken seriously by Juventus and Man City. And there's a reason that the guy's being linked with them, not because he's a bum, because he knows what he's doing. And these also aren't clubs that are looking for, these aren't clubs that would hire Pochettino as well. Like, I fully appreciate that people don't like the fact that I supported Poch, but I like Poch because he was the right manager for us at the time. And you can't disagree with that because he was. Maresca wouldn't have been able to do what Pochettino did. I don't think he would have been able to do it.
I think it would have been too much of a mess.
This is the thing, mate. You cannot talk about tactics until you have a togetherness and a chemistry and just like a bit of fire in the belly. And the season before, we had nothing. So Poch built us back up. He got us to the stage where, listen, I'm not saying we were running, but we were starting to learn how to jog. If you're on a bike, it's the equivalent of having the what do you call it? The two wheels at the back.
Training wheels, little
like
wheels in the back.
Training wheels off. Poch was like, "Don't worry, you can do it." And then he was gone, and Maresca was already in a position where he had a bit of stability, and he's harnessed that. And he has taken us from strength to strength. So now we're in a very stable position. We're in a great position. And I'm not defending Maresca to the death. I certainly don't feel that way. Definitely not. But I won't be on Maresca's back too much this season unless it gets really, really bad. But I mean, unlike last season, he has credit in the bank. And how can I support someone that was a manager of Leicester? And when I actually heard from Leicester fans and sort of looked into it a little bit more, I was thinking, so you're telling me that the guy was playing a certain brand of football and then he started losing all of these games. He was clear at the top. And the only reason he was able to actually get over the line was because he changed the style of football. And you're trying to implement that at Chelsea. Like, how does that make any sense? And then, obviously, I'm a match-going fan, so it's very different to me because I can't just turn off the TV. So I'm going to games and I'm bored out of my mind. I remember that the worst game of last season for me was when we beat Southampton 4-0. That was the worst. Oh, really? It was so boring. No, I left early. I was like, this is shit. I went to the pub. Me and my mate, we watched it on the telly. And I'll be honest with you, I've never left in my life. Never left early in my life. And Southampton, when we won 4-0, I left half time. I was out. 60 minutes, whatever it was. Because for me, like, you have to be entertained at football. You have to. But you can accept not playing a brand or a style with success. So people go, Alex, why do you contradict yourself? Hello? Did you not see the Champions League and the Conference League and the Club World Cup? Were you not celebrating when Palmer scored that goal? Yes. Sorry, hang on a second. I don't remember you complaining at Nottingham Forest away. Do you know what I mean? So people have to set a standard, and they have either unrealistic standards, which many fans do, by the way. They have really unrealistic standards, or you set yourself one that's attainable. And for me, the standard was high for a Club World Cup. I thought, I was outside the stadium in Atlanta before LAFC. I had American Chelsea fans trying to interview me, doing some short form content.
Sure.
Alex, don't you think Chelsea are going to win the Club World Cup?
It's a pretty good American accent.
Yeah, fuck off, mate. Honestly, are you kidding me? I didn't tell them to, F off already, but I was like, seriously? It almost put me in a bad mood when they asked me that question. I was like, are you trying to take the piss? Have you seen us this season?
Yeah,
and you think we're going to win the Club World Cup? and we did it. So credit to the man, honestly.
guess,
Credit to the
yeah,
man, and credit
no.
to
I agree. He did it against all odds. Like I didn't expect it either. I don't think any of us really expected it. I mean, we sat here doing our predictions on how the run was going to go, and we predicted that Bayern would knock us out in the round of 16, or maybe not the round of 16, but
rightly
maybe the
so.
third.
Yeah, I mean, nothing wrong with that.
And the Flamengo loss was kind of like a blessing in disguise, because then it changed the path to the final, which, listen, I'm not going to say it was easier. There were still some tough teams like Fluminense, Palmeiras. They gave a lot of teams in this tournament a run for their money, rightfully so. Even Man City, they took an L to Al Hilal in this tournament, and they were taking it seriously. I think there was a certain point that once they got past the group stages, you could tell the clubs were actually starting to take it seriously, because there was prize money on the line, the first of a tournament, and I think the teams were starting to really get into the rhythm of things. And I with the whole Pochettino thing, I actually don't disagree with that. I do think whether it was Pochettino or someone else, there needed to be that second manager that kind of took a brunt while the club was still meshing, and Pochettino was that guy. The one thing I'll give Pochettino is that he knew how to form relationships with the players.
Yes.
Hence why at the end, when he left, Jackson comes out publicly saying, how he feels about it. And that's Jackson, but I'm sure he wasn't alone in that. And so,
yeah, I mean, I still stand by the fact that I think Pochettino was better for a lot of our players than Maresca. I'd stand by that.
I think the way he wanted to play, which now in hindsight, you could tell it was more of a counterattacking type of football, but our defense just wasn't good. You could tell like that counterattack style of football suited players like Palmer, Jackson, even Nani to an extent, maybe more. So yeah, I definitely get where you're coming from, but I agree. I think if Maresca got the job at that point, he probably would have, I don't know if he would have failed, but he probably would have struggled a lot due to the lack of cohesiveness, due to the age of the squad it was still young then as well, and just the chaos. Because you remember the first game, the first City game. I don't know if you were there. It was at the Bridge, I'm pretty sure. But the first game under Maresca where we played City, the fans were yelling, chanting Conor Gallagher's name. And I think he even said they even chanted Roman. So they showed their displeasure towards the decisions that were being made. And later on, it also showed with the protests and all that. So and that even gives more credit to Maresca to have to work under those conditions and still come out and reach those goals. Definitely. I think it's impressive. Now, because of what we saw at Club World Cup and because I agree with you. The way we were playing wasn't convincing. I was at that point where just give me the results. But it seemed that during the Club World Cup, something switched, and all of a sudden, the players knew the system like the back of their hand. They knew where to be. They were making all these right runs. We looked more fluid. We looked more attacking. Against PSG, we looked so entertaining. First half, just splitting them apart, and in the second half, maybe sitting back a bit and then hitting them on the counter. So that showed Maresca becoming more tactically versatile. So leading on to this season, I know we haven't been great. We've had ups and downs, I should say.
Yeah, it's been all right.
Yeah, it's been all right. I'm not overreacting like a lot of the fan base. You have people in the fan base saying, we'll be lucky if we make top 4, which I think is... I don't know how people could think that, considering we made top 4 with less last season, but don't make the argument that we downgraded.
There's a lot of pessimists out there. I did a stream about Semenyo. Not going to lie, I was hyping him up. I saw the tweets. Chelsea came swooping in before he made his mind for Man City. The wages are similar. All of the offers are similar. I thought, oh my God, location is a factor. I thought, we've got a genuine chance here. So I'm hyping it up. I said, put a thumbs up in the chat if you agree with me that we've got a chance. I'm not saying you have to commit that we're going to sign. Just we've got a chance. Give me a thumbs up. Loads of thumbs up. There's a couple of crosses in there though. There's a couple of people that were like, Alex, don't get dragged into this. And I said, guys, listen. They said it's the hope that kills you. I said, listen, what else have I got? What else have I got except hope that we're going to sign Semenyo? Because I'll be honest, I don't expect us to do any business in January. Not short term business, maybe long term. And whatever it is. And then an hour after, not even an hour, 10 minutes after I finished the stream, we pulled out. So I was like,
I didn't even see that.
It's just typical, isn't it?
Yeah, I gotta go and get those tweets and look into that because I didn't even see that. But I mean, it's the hope that kills you, sure, but it's also the hope that makes you a fan, right? Like we all want Chelsea to do well. Like I know, Alex, you're not one of these win, lose, draw, blue co out kind of fans. I think it's a bit odd.
I have to say, I'm in a bit of a. I'm certainly not one of the extremists, but I'm not happy with the ownership. I'm not.
I'm not either. Yeah.
And I like elements of the way we run the club. I like Strasbourg. I don't have a massive problem with the wage structure. However, I think that there are players that you can make exceptions for, and by breaking the wage structure as well. Like, what's the number? Is it 200? Is it 300? What happens when Sterling's wages come off the books? Does that get put back onto the squad? Like, does that get reinvested? So those are some of the questions that I've got in terms of the wage structure. In terms of Bowley, I actually really don't have a massive problem with him. I don't like vivid seats. And I accept that as a match going fan, that directly affects me because everyone around me generally is supposed to be creating an atmosphere where I'm sitting, and there are people that buy vivid tickets off vivid seats and they don't make any noise because they're not local, so they just don't know the chance. So that element of Bowley is frustrating, and I think it's pretty obvious that's what's the word? It's
exploitative to an extent. Like
there's a word where you've got two things that shouldn't be connected.
Oh, conflict of interest.
Conflict of interest. Conflict of interest. My brain's gone dead. But like, it's absolutely right that he's investigated for that, and then basically stripped of any control of vivid seats, because you shouldn't be someone that can. That can directly control or whatever it is, stripped from the board of dealing with ticket. I don't know what it is, but that's the number one problem with Bowley in terms of his ability to run a sports team. I saw on the telly today it's day 3 of the World Series. I'm not sure what the score is. I haven't actually checked, but the Dodgers are doing really well, mate.
No, the World Series was in October. It ended, and the Dodgers did win. It's probably another World Series.
The Rays or something.
I forget what team they played. They played the I think it was the Blue Jays.
Blue Jays. Oh, I thought that was live. Okay, so it wasn't live.
No, it was in October.
They won the World Series, right?
Yeah,
so
doing well. Yeah.
Like they did well, and I think the Lakers have been doing okay. I don't know the details of that. The point being is when Bowley gets involved in sports, he does play to win. He's not playing just to take part. So when you talk about a lack of ambition, there has to be Clearlake. And I agree with that. And if Clearlake weren't private equity, I wouldn't have as many problems with them as I do. But because it's private equity, mate, I could never accept it. And for that reason, I'm with the Blueco win, draw out people. I'm with them. But I just don't actively go on about it. I don't actively, because for me, I've known Johnny for a long time. I'm sure you know Johnny.
Let's have it right.
Yeah. I've known Johnny, mate. I've known Johnny before Minerals FC. I knew him before I was doing Chelsea Fan TV. I've known Johnny for years. And I remember speaking to him outside when we used to do fan cams before I was running the channel. I used to say, why do you say the things you say? Why do you say it? And he said, I just need to get it off my chest. Off my chest. Honestly, and I believe it.
Yeah,
because I knew him before this, and that's what he said. And I remember the Ricketts out protest. Johnny was, very, very, he's a big participant in that. And I know he cares about the club. I don't agree with some of the personal insults, and he does it with me as well. But I mean, last season I think we got along quite well because I was one of the people pushing this stuff about Blueco on Talksport and all the rest of it. But now is not the time to speak about the ownership when we have gone down that route. And to be quite honest with you, looking back at what we did, I think it was very justified at the time. But we ended up getting top 4 and winning 2 trophies, so we can't be that bad. Now, that's if we were like Man United, then fair enough. But we're not.
I guess
we're still able to win.
I guess, Alex, what I'm referring to is like, because when I think people saying win, lose, draw, blue, go out, I think of people who almost intentionally want the club to lose and to go through a bad phase to get this all done and washed, which I don't think that's the way to go about it. Like, I agree. I listen. I have huge issues.
Still not happy, Marshall. We won 2 trophies, and they can't appreciate it. They can't give it any credit.
I mean,
that's the problem that I have. You're not gonna respect the actual success that we had. If you're not going to respect that, then it's very difficult to appreciate that opinion. Sorry, mate.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say at least show appreciation to Maresca. You don't have to because I still, and you can ask my chat, I still want the director sacked. I don't like the way they're conducting business. I don't like the positions they're putting Maresca in. But if Maresca were to get sacked, I want the directors out with him. And I want this ownership to actually do their due diligence and get me good directors, not these up and coming Brighton ones or up and coming Monaco, wherever the fuck they're coming from.
Yeah. That's where I'm not with everyone. I'm not one of these director people because they are just doing what they've been told. So that's an ownership problem. That's not a problem with the director.
Because the thing is, I agree with you with the whole model, right? I like the model. I think the model's okay. I think the model could work. The issue is who you're getting for the model, right? Like, I don't know if you're familiar with the left winger from Lyon, Malik Fofana, right? Youngster,
yes.
Very, very good dribbler. I saw him in some games last season when I watched Strasbourg. I saw him against United in the Europa League, and there's a really talented kid there. But instead of getting him, we went for Garnacho, who we all had issues with. We've all seen him play. We know how he is in front of the net. You know all his deficiencies. You know his strengths. Not good enough, especially for the price that we paid. So that's the issue I have. It's like, the owners are telling you to pick these players and do young model and all this stuff, but you guys are the ones picking and giving the contracts out, not the owners. So that's where I have the issue with.
Well, no, I mean, you're right that decisions could be better, but we've had some good ones. You can't deny it. We've had some good ones. And for me, we've had enough good ones.
Alex. I try to keep it balanced.
I mean, you could say the same thing about the recruitment as you could about the manager, right? Or the owners. I mean, we've still won the trophies. I'm not defending them. I'm not a fan, but we were successful as a club, and they worked for the club. So they were responsible for bringing the players that actually won the trophies, as well as getting us Champions League football. The one thing that I'm not a fan of is having too many cooks in the kitchen, though, and I think maybe just having one director.
Yeah, there's like 5 directors now, I think.
You've got different levels. You've got Joe Shields, who's at the top of the hierarchy in terms of Chelsea, if I'm not wrong. And then you've obviously got Winstanley and Stewart below him. You've got Sam Jewell, who's in charge of Blueco. And he does Strasbourg and Chelsea, so oversees all of that. And I think that's it.
Dave Foros, the
guy from Liverpool. Oh man, I forgot about him.
Yeah.
What does he do? Where's he? Is he at the top of the chain as well? So we got Winstanley, Stewart.
I think he reports to Winstanley and Stewart.
He reports to them, so he's even lower in the pecking order. Yeah. So what does he do? If Winstanley and Stewart with the manager, who's he chatting with? The cafeteria ladies?
I don't know.
Oh my God.
It's so odd. I don't like that either. I don't like all these cooks in the kitchen because one cook wants Garnacho, the other one wants Gittins, the other one's suggesting Malik Fofana. Oh, you're lower than us. We're not going to pay attention. It's like, it's too much. It's too much. I agree with you. But I mean,
sometimes it's good to have a difference of opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, how do they pick the signings either? Is it just, I mean, how does
it might be. You don't
Is that
know.
how it works?
It might genuinely be that.
Rock, paper, scissors.
It might be like this transfer window, you take a turn. Next transfer window will be me, like something like that. And listen, you're right though. I feel like there is, and I try not to lean too into it because I get backlash for it a lot because people don't want to hear it. But the reality of the situation is, for as much as you want to criticize the directors, which I'm fully critical of them, I do try to praise them when I can as well. And for an example, Stevao. Like, as much as you want to say this window was shit, this window gave us Stevao. Unless you want to go back to the window when we got Palmer,
you know,
and you want to reevaluate that window, but then that window goes up. And so there's like, you got Caicedo, Palmer recruitment, the Enzo recruitment, which was partially when they came in, as well as Chris Favell when he was here.
Yeah.
And there's been some good players that have come through this pipeline. Santos, another one as well. So you try to give credit where credit is due, but people, you know how the fans can get. They just want to really focus on the negative, which is kind of where we find ourselves right now. Is normally, I don't know how you feel about this, Alex, but I feel like normally if we were in a good run of form, let's just say the run of form we were in last year, where we won most of our games in December, right? That run of form where we won our games in December, and then come Boxing Day, we get the draw against Everton, I believe, and then we lost against Fulham that same week.
Correct.
If instead of Everton, that was a Newcastle draw, I think most of us Chelsea fans would probably be like, that's a good draw at St. James's Park. But this season, because we're going into it with a little bit of a form, not so great form, now that point at St. James's Park isn't good enough. So I feel like we focus too much on the negative.
So you don't like, you weren't happy with the point?
No, I was. I'm just saying I feel like a lot of Chelsea fans weren't.
You're right. A lot of people weren't. But I just think that's one of those like just natural splits. You've got your optimists and your pessimists. Okay. I was happy with the point, mate. I was happy with people like, oh, we conceded the goals. Hello, we could have conceded more. We could have been 4-0 down. Do you know what I mean? And we scraped. We managed to get something out of nothing, a place where we never get points. Yeah. So I mean that point is as big as a point anywhere, and being 2-0 down anywhere. But coming back from 2-0 down at St. James's Park is the equivalent of doing the same at like the Camp Nou or the Bernabeu, in my opinion. That's how bad we are in those in those games. But we play better football at the Bernabeu than we do at St. James's Park. So like, I don't really see the logic there. I don't understand it.
Do you feel that, like, where is your optimism right now with the rest of the season? Because I know right now most of us probably wanted to be in a title charge.
I mean, we're only 10 points off, so technically we are still in the race. Like, technically 3 games and then we're back.
But do you realistically think we can claw back?
Well, I mean, if I'm totally honest, I don't see Arsenal continuing to win. No, but it's just a question of whether we can keep the consistency. So I don't think Arsenal are going to maintain it. Definitely not. Not the way they're playing. The way they're playing, they can't sustain that. If they want to take the Champions League seriously as well, and actually, in a way, it favours everyone in the Premier League that they've got through the Carabao. Sure. I can see an injury. I can see something happening. They've already had injuries, but like,
yeah, exactly.
They're a weird team, man. They're a weird team because there's teams that have like an aura. They play badly and they still get results. And they have an aura. Arsenal don't have an aura because they don't win anything. So until they win something, there's no aura. They're literally just that little chihuahua in the background that's barking, and eventually the big dog's going to come and snap them up. That's it. That's what's going to happen to Arsenal. So, I mean, that's the way I see it, at least.
Hey, big up Minerals.
Let's have it right.
You're right. That's no, and see, I'm glad I'm speaking with someone who probably thinks more like me than maybe the amount of people I speak to on Twitter or the chat, or even sometimes my panel.
You can't have a proper conversation on Twitter. Let's be honest.
No, you definitely can. But I don't feel like we're gonna go for a title this season. That's just my 2 cents on it. Like, I don't think. I do think the center back missing Levi Colwill is a big miss.
Huge.
I do think that's gonna, hurt us.
That's where the sporting directors. I'm with you, 100%.
Yeah. And I also think, like Alex, this is the first time this team is back in Champions League since that season Tuchel got sacked.
Yeah.
So there's also a question of getting used to how intense this new schedule is. We had a packed schedule last season, but let's be honest, the Conference League, it was more for like B team and the players who were trying to develop and get them up to speed with the A team.
Yeah.
This season, we don't have that luxury, and those Champions League matches are just as intense as the Premier League ones. Correct. So I do think that plays a factor with the team adapting to that, getting to know like what games do I give 100%, what game do I tone it back a bit, and gauging that, because that's another factor too, is learning how to be consistent throughout the course of a season in the league. None of our players have that experience. Even Reece doesn't have that experience. Reece, the closest Reece got to a title charge was that season he got hurt when we were with Tuchel, that first season.
And then things got hard. Things got hard when he got hurt.
Yeah, and that unfortunately was a system that relied on players like Reece and Chilwell to be fit, and the season fell apart from there. But none of our players have an experience trying to go for a title. So when you don't have that experience, I think it goes against you, and you're going to have to get close. I use the same logic with the UCL. You're going to have to lose it or get close before you can actually win it. Even if Arsenal get to that semifinal or the final, they're not going to win it. I strongly believe this could be just voodoo and vibes, but I strongly believe you have to lose a Champions League first before you win it. Look at City, for example. We showed them, we showed them the ropes, and then they came back to the season after, or 2 seasons after, and won it, I think. But
yeah, no, you're right. Well, we lost in Moscow before we won it in Munich, so it's a real thing.
I believe it, and I think it also goes for the league a little bit as well. So it's not that I don't believe this team can't. What was that?
Arsenal just keep losing.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're never learning lessons. But I believe it also with this team. I do think this team is good enough to win the league. I genuinely do. Like, sure, there could be improvements in some positions. Like, for example, I do think the left wing could have been better. Like, I think Garnacho and Gittins we'll see in the long run, but Garnacho is never a fan. I've not seen enough to convince me that I was wrong about my take on Garnacho.
Okay.
I can't even complain about Robert Sanchez. Robert Sanchez has stepped up this season. Would I still take Maignan? Probably, but I'm willing to go another season with Sanchez if he keeps playing like this. But even the center backs, Levi comes back. Maybe we get another one to replace Tosin, and I think we're ready. I think we're there. But it's like you said, it's a consistency. I do think you're right. I do think the way we're looking at Arsenal since the beginning of December, there's been a dip in form. And even today, they couldn't beat. They had the better team. I just want to point out to people, Arsenal had Declan Rice, Gyökeres, Odegaard. Who else was on that bench for them? They had a stacked bench, is what I'm trying to say, and still couldn't bring those players on to make a difference. So I do think their form is going to dip off, and it's a matter of whether ours can pick up. Because I did say this, Alex. I do think our injuries this season came at the right time of the season, if that makes sense. Like,
you'd rather have a slow start and get better, mate. You'd rather have a poor first half and finish strong, even if the result's the same, because it gives you a sense of fight and togetherness. Mm-hmm. And it's just a strong feeling. There's nothing. Newcastle's a great example. What would have happened if we had a great first half and then we conceded 2 goals? Everyone would say we fucked it up. What's going on? So, it's really, really important to finish a season strong. And I'll always be a believer in that. Having said that, it would be nice to just have, a great period the whole time. but we know that we can't rely on that. So,
Well,
I mean, we're stable, mate. We're stable, and we're not actually that far off. If I don't know how many points, I think Father said it was about 8 points from the season prior. I'm not entirely sure. So, like, you know the answer to that.
Maybe I
Please let me
don't
know.
remember,
But
but I know we're worse than we were last
definitely in a
season.
better position last season, and now we're not as good in the league. But actually, when you bring everything together, I'd say it's just as impressive because we are in the Carabao Cup, we are in the Champions League, and we're still in the FA Cup, and we're in all these
We did get back
competitions.
to the
So we're
Carabao Cup
balancing all of these
last
things
year.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're basically just managing everything. I mean, you're not going to make everyone happy. If you've got
Yeah,
4
of course.
girlfriends, you know, you speak to one on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You might have one in the morning, one in the afternoon, and that's what Chelsea are doing. It's a balancing act. So maybe your main one is going to struggle a little bit, but she's still there. She's still happy.
I do want to believe that with the consistency issues that we've been having, I feel like people like to forget we haven't had Cole Palmer until just this month,
And we're still doing well.
and we're still doing well. Where we're in the conversation,
Colwell.
we're in fourth. You know, we are in fourth place. We are still in our goal, right? Where we're in the top 4 positions for Champions League next season. But like, I do think when Palmer gets more fit, when we have, well, we'll see if it ever happens. If Lavia comes back, Isugo's meant to come back soon. We have Delap coming back. I know he hasn't been great, but maybe he takes a little bit to get integrated and stuff. I think once we get going, the consistency will come. And I think for me, Alex, if January we see an improvement, because last year January was people want to say the December curse. It started in December, but it kept going through January and February. We were absolutely dross last season. That's when the Brighton result happened, the back-to-back one. That's when we had that result. Fulham, Ipswich happened in January. All these bad games that we remember happened in January. If we can have more consistency in January, then, or a better run of results in January, then I think we're still in this conversation, like you're saying.
We're in the conversation, mate. We're in the conversation. Nobody's saying we're going to win it. We're in the conversation. You can be in the race and finish last. Now, I'm not going to go that far, but we can be in the race and finish 4th or finish 3rd. I would say that you know, if you're not in the race, then nobody's in the race, because otherwise it's just the person not on the race. I don't know. So I mean, I'm not sure what the exact logic is really for title contenders, but I mean, we've seen teams drop off so much. And again, like, if we're going to do what we're hoping we can do, and that's pick up and be even more consistent in the new year, then more power to us. Like, we've shown that we've matured as a team. That would be the perfect example of how you can prove yourself. And you don't have to win a league to gain people's respect, in my mind. As long as you're getting better, then it's an improvement. How can anyone criticize an improvement? So as long as Chelsea are getting better, mate, that's literally all I'm asking for. I don't want to make these demands as if, you know, we are in the same position as we were when Abramovich bought us. It's just different. There's better teams, there's better quality around us. You're not able to spend as much. There's more competition for players. So very, very difficult to look at it in the same way. But having said that, like, you want to set a standard. But,
of course.
You know, let's not be unrealistic here, you know?
Now, let me ask you this, Alex, as someone who, you know, I would say has a pulse on the fandom. You're there game after game. You interview them. You talk to them. You know them. And some of them are your brethren. You know what I'm saying? Your Chelsea brethren.
Yeah.
I know lately there's been a little bit of a shakeup with the manager, with the coach, with the whole comments he said about the last 48 hours being my worst time at Chelsea. I don't feel like I'm getting support. Him saying what he said about the center back situation in the summer. And now, you know, obviously journalists going to try to exploit that to try to get clicks and, you know, really rile up the fan base and rile up the, you know, the spur of what was said. What my question to you is, if, let's say, we have a good season, whatever a good season's definition is to you, right? if we have a good season with Maresca, but because of this disagreement, Maresca were to walk away or they sack Maresca, how do you think the fan base are going to react to that?
There'll be a protest.
Okay. That's essentially what I was going to say. I think if there's ever a time to protest again, it would be that, if that were to happen.
If we got rid of Maresca, mate, that's literally how I felt about Poch and worse. Yeah, I believe we were going somewhere with Poch, mate. And I also believe that there was a project. Okay, isn't the whole point of a project to stick with the manager? Like, what are we talking about here? No, gone already. Okay, who are you bringing in? I've never heard of him. Am I supposed to back this? And then you literally do something that nobody believed in. He managed to convert people like me that hated what he was doing and make me a fan and actually respect him. And then you get rid of him anyway. Can you imagine the scenes? Can you imagine? I'll tell you what. Honestly, I would actively campaign against taking the Chelsea job if that was the case. Why would you join a club where even against all circumstances you bring success and they still sack you? What? Because you want to say on a little bit of transfer policy? Hello, it directly affects my role as a coach.
Yeah,
who I am coaching. Why would I not be entitled to a say? That's like let's just say, I don't even know if this is I'm guessing this is the case for some channels, but let's just say someone owned 51% of your channel, Marshall, and you own 49% of it. You still own a large chunk. And they said, you know what? When you do your streams from now on, you always have to have this guest on and this guest on. And you're like, well, I don't really want to speak with those people. No, you got to do it. It's going to work. Trust the process. And eventually just get to the stage where like you're just pissed off. You've got no control. You feel like you're being micromanaged. Change the description, change the background. Oh, I don't like that, Mike. Move the Chelsea logo from here to here. This stuff eats away at you. And I read that there was some sort of breakdown after Atalanta, and they were criticizing Maresca's tactics. Are you mad? What the fuck is wrong with you? There's one thing eating your own dinner, and there's another thing reaching onto someone else's plate. And I think that for me, once you start going in that direction, you're just asking for trouble. It's like when Bowley said to Tuchel, what is it? Can you play a 4-4-3 or whatever it was? Do you remember? Yeah, do you remember? It's like, come on, man, just please.
Yeah. I think he was going off vibes when he said that, but I agree, because I think, for one, I'll say this because I was thinking about this while I was shoveling snow today. I think about Chelsea all the time. I might have a problem. This is
you
probably
got a lot of snow. You got snow with you?
Yeah, I got like 4 inches of snow this morning, so I had to shovel a bit. But I was thinking about this because someone had asked me, and it was on my panel. And mind you, like, I don't do the echo chamber stuff. Even if we agree or disagree, we can have a conversation. I have people on my panel that think Neto's the worst winger in the league, even though he's our top.
Brother, he's our best player this season.
I know, but I still have conversations and we can still find agreements. It's always about bridging the gaps, right? But he asked me, do you think we realistically can win the league with these directors? And I couldn't really answer, but then I started thinking about it. I was like, you know what? I think we can, but I don't think it's going to depend on them, and I don't think it's going to be intentional. I think one day we will get the left wing position right. I think one day we will get the goalkeeper position right. I think one day we'll get the striker decision right, but it's going to be a lot of mistakes, and it'll just happen. What happened?
You've got to kiss a lot of frogs.
Exactly. So I feel that the talent ID is there. It's which ones you pick, and then which ones you pick to back the manager, and who that manager is. Because let's also be honest, I think most of us agree, Maresca overperformed. Maresca did more than what all of us expected. Absolutely. And to be fair, he made the directors look better than what they actually were. with the players that we brought in and stuff. Like towards the end, I was turning around on KDH. I was like, you know what, KDH, you might have a home here at Chelsea. Even Nkunku was trying to play better. I was like, okay, I'm starting to see the fruits of the labor here. And it was these weren't these good of players when you bought them, but you would needed Maresca to make them better. And there's gonna come a point where like you can't keep doing that. You have to give them a player that can at least hold up, like Staval, that can hold himself accountable, that can, you know, hold their own in a game and do what's needed. Neto is another one of those. Mm-hmm. So I feel like one day, if we do keep Maresca, which I hope does happen, I mean, unless he makes bad decision after bad decision and we start criticizing and gets himself sacked essentially because we're doing horrible. But if he keeps doing well, and we have a good season, which for me, a good season would be top 4, 2 trophies. You name the trophies. I still think we have a shot at UCL, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. Okay.
I think we're a good cup team. I think we are. But
2 cups again.
I think we can do it.
Give the man a fucking pay rise if he gets us 2 trophies.
That's what I'm saying. I do think that if he sticks around, eventually these directors, whether I rate them or not, they're going to get it right. Eventually, there's going to be, even by accident, they're going to get the decision right. Or one of these players down the pipeline is going to come in and actually be the correct player. And maybe we'll get it that way. I just don't think they're going to do it intentionally. I don't think they're going to plan and buy in a player that's going to take us there. And I think we're just going to be like Arsenal again, even though the season's not over. But you see Gyökeres is the final piece of the puzzle, and that piece of the puzzle doesn't look like it's fitting.
I mean,
right
Lukaku was the final piece of our puzzle. He made us worse.
Yeah, I remember that actually. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, I forgot. I remembered that was the discussion. The final piece of the puzzle. We need a striker. We get Lukaku. A lot of us wanted Haaland, but we knew that wasn't going to happen. But Lukaku was there. And
Lukaku was the next best thing at the time.
Yeah. And unfortunately, just, you know, he had to open his mouth. But I think there is a shot. I'm not as optimistic as you in terms of like, you know, actually, you didn't even say we're going to win it. You said we're in it, right? And I think to an extent, I agree with you. We are in it, but it's going to show more so at the end of January, in my opinion. If we can get through that bad patch, we got Cole coming back. We got Isugo coming back, so maybe some rotation in there. And we have our players, for the most part, fit. That's why I was telling people, like, our players are coming. Our players got injured at the right time in the beginning of the season, because now when the fixtures are congested, other teams' players are falling off. You saw Isak. You saw how Arsenal are falling apart. Even right now, Spurs are still falling apart. City, for the most part, they're keeping well. But now that players are coming back to fitness and coming back from injury, whilst the fixture schedule is congested, everyone else is, you know, not so lucky. So I think that'll help us. But yeah, I'm glad to have this chat with you, Alex. It was a
great chat.
Really opened my eyes a lot, you know,
really?
In terms of because I wasn't sure how the fan base really felt, and usually I use you as a barometer as to how they feel, because I think you get a lot of perspectives. You talk to these guys every day, so your perspective, whether I agree or not, is going to be kind of echoing what a good amount of the fan base are saying on the ground.
I think it's, I think it's difficult not to be influenced, to be fair, by fans. Do you know, when it was really bad, I was depressed, man. I was depressed because I would do my own fan cam and then I just hold the mic. Shit. I hate it. I'm sick of it. That's literally.
Was this last season or was this under Potter or Poch or
both? I mean, more so last season, to be fair.
Okay.
You know, the first year I did it under Potter, because it was my first time, I was like, I just gone with it. I wasn't that bothered by it because it was my first time. And then obviously doing it another year, and then you're just like, oh God. Like, I just want to have a nice chat. Like, come on. Really?
After December, you already know what to expect.
And then you see, like, I'll always interview as many people as I can. You know, people know this. If you come to Stamford Bridge and you want an interview with me, you will get it if you wait. And sometimes
true.
people will
You
wait
got a line,
for an hour.
man, you.
Sometimes people will wait for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I'll do it. If you're happy to wait, then I will do it. I just always prioritize people that come on every week because I mean it's only fair, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I love doing it. I love doing it. Really enjoy doing it. There's moments where I'll be honest, I'd rather be somewhere else, especially after like a bad result. It gets to the point where like I'll be honest, there's been some fan cams I've done with Lewis, or Matt. And honestly, I have been tempted to laugh at some of the things they've said. I have laughed.
Yeah.
During like serious moments, though. I remember when we lost 1-0 to Arsenal under Potter, and Lewis's fan cam for that. I think he'd done 100K. It was a big fan cam. I was trying so hard not to laugh because some of the stuff this guy was coming out with was just... It was hilarious, man. But it was such a serious moment for the club. And obviously I'm pissed off, but like, you know what they say, if you don't laugh, you'll cry, right?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
What are you going to do? You either drink yourself to death or you hold a mic for 2 hours and just listen to people shout. And that's the option I chose. So, yeah, man, love doing it. And I hope to do it for many more years.
I know. We hope you do it too, man. I mean, we hope that these by the end of the season, the interviews are happy Chelsea fans, ecstatic that we won a trophy or two, getting good results, and maybe even still in a conversation for a title race, maybe not even too far off first place. Who knows? We never know how the season goes. We only just hit halfway point. It could completely turn around for some fans, for some teams, and go in the complete opposite direction for others. So we'll see, all in due time. I do appreciate you coming onto the platform and having this conversation with me. I just want to give you the courtesy, if you want to shout yourself out, anything coming up, anything we should expect to see from you. Yeah, go ahead. Floor is yours, man.
Well, to be honest, the channel's going to be relatively quiet until our next game, but I'm going to try and do more live stuff, to be fair. I don't know if you know this, but we had a period last season where we went live twice a day, and we did it for about 4 months, 5 months. And it got to a stage where I was like, it wasn't just me that was doing it. Charlie, Nina, Kev, everyone was chipping in, and like a big up to everyone that helped. And in the end, it was just like, this is crazy. So I started doing it on my own, like once a day. And then I just got burnt out. So now I've learned, I love talking about Chelsea, but there's only so many times you can repeat the same things. So now when I stream, people should know I do it because I'm actually enjoying it. So, I mean, that helps. I mean, I see this Gabriel guy as well.
Just Gabriel.
Sounds practically handsome.
He's a regular, but I can tell.
Come on, Alex, you were reactionary. No shame in changing opinion. Just own it. Otherwise, it shows you up. Well, Marshall, I mean, if you've got a minute, you can share your screen and go on my fan cam after PSG. Just show the title.
Here, I'll pull it up right now. Chelsea Fan TV PSG. And here we go. Is it this one, Alex? Here, let me show my screen right now.
It's just the fan cam that I did after. I wasn't in America.
Oh yeah, right here.
What does it say?
Maresca, I was wrong. Chelsea are Club World Cup champions.
There you go. There's your answer.
Yeah, and I tell people this, right? Like, listen, for as much as I disliked Poch, I give credit where credit is due. And towards the end, I was seeing where the season was going. And I said, like, get me back into Europe and we'll see where we go. And he was doing that. And he did. Obviously, we went to Conference League because of United. But I was willing to reevaluate it again next season. Like, opinions change. At the end of the day, we want what's best for Chelsea. We have our own opinions as to how we want that to happen. And when we're wrong, the people like Alex will admit they're wrong and come out and say it and back the manager and then back.
A lot of people said that they didn't admit that they were wrong. A lot of people.
Yeah, there's still people that don't think they're wrong about Maresca. So it's like, But it's like, again, this is opinions, and football is an emotional sport, whether you want to be or not. At the time, maybe a bad result, you want the manager out. During a good result, best manager in the world. This is football. This is what fandom is. So big up Gabriel, big up Alex, obviously, for clearing that up. But it's, again, Alex, you've changed your mind just like any other person would. You admitted
it's an opinion for a reason, because it's not a fact. It's an opinion.
Exactly. And this is sports. This is fandom. So it is what it is. And we appreciate you for at least admitting you were wrong about it, and then coming out and now supporting the manager and now saying your opinion on it. This happens. So big up to you. Did you want to shout out anything before you headed out?
Shout out to Gabriel.
Okay.
Thank you.
Shout out Gabriel. Obviously, guys, you know where to find Alex. Chelsea Fan TV. You'll find him there doing post-match reactions, doing the live streams as well. The day after live streams, which the day after pod, right? Is that what you call it? Day after podcast?
Yeah. So we'll be doing a podcast after the Villa game.
So that'll be on Sunday. Yep.
So we'll be doing one of them. We always have a panel, guys. So jump on. I'm going to start doing some call-in shows as well, man. You know, that's what we're missing. There's no call-in shows these days. Everyone's got panel shows.
That's how I think that's how we got on Chelsea's Fan TV ones was call-in.
Oh well, I mean, we've done it. I just mean like nobody's doing it at the moment. Not that I've seen. So maybe
I do mine once a month, but that's about
it. You do a call-in show?
I do a call-in show once a month. It's always the first Wednesday of every month. But we get some people that come in. We get some regulars, some new faces.
You know, the thing is as well, like I remember when things were really getting a bit tasty last season and people would come on and they want to debate me. Why did you support Poch? And it got heated. But I enjoyed the conversations, honestly. I mean, as long as you've got a bit of conviction to your argument, then it's fine. But I mean, I wouldn't want to go on there and debate things that I'm not 100% about. Like this season, is it a success? Is it not? Like you just don't know. You don't know. But it's fine so far. We're doing okay. It's Christmas. You got the Christmas gear on.
Yeah, of course.
Look, I've got a mini Christmas tree. There you go. I got a little bit of something. That's about it.
This time of year, I like to feel festive, and again, I do appreciate that you came on, especially this time of year when things are really hectic and busy for everyone and families and friends and all that. So, Alex, once again, man, thank you so much for coming on. Hopefully, we'll have you back on sometime in the future to discuss Chelsea again. But yeah, you guys know where to check them out. Link in the description. I actually have to put the link in the description, but you'll see the link to Chelsea Fan TV in the title, and you'll find Alex there and all his content. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Obviously, we'll be back again to discuss Chelsea after. Well, actually, I'm going to discuss Chelsea tomorrow. I'm going to do a Christmas Eve, just Casually Chelsea show, just to go over some of the news that's happened since the last time we did the show. Some menu stuff, we'll talk about that there and all that fun stuff. And then we'll be back again, people, after Christmas, Saturday for that Villa reaction. Hopefully it's a win. I think Alex is going to hope it's a win as well. Alex,
that would help.
It's at the Bridge, right, Alex?
Yes.
So you'll be there.
Bournemouth is also at the Bridge.
There you go. So you'll be there for at least.
I mean, if it's anything like last season, we'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly. So hopefully it is. But yeah, once again, guys, be sure to show Alex some love and support by going over to that channel, checking out the content, subscribing, liking the videos, and all that fun stuff. If you're here, be sure to like, subscribe, hype up the channel as well if you have some high points to spare. And I will say also, if you are considering becoming a member, I do appreciate that. Memberships do help out the channel tremendously. And if you're a proper casual and higher tiered member, Alex, here on this channel, I'd like to give shout outs to our proper casuals. So big up to JC, Dark, Lanre, Sadiq, A. Soliman, EE, and Adrian for showing support at the proper casual level. But hey, it doesn't mean... proper casuals. I got the casuals. I got the proper casuals. The match-going casuals.
Casuals. I love it.
Yeah, the match-going casuals. And the cement mixer casuals, which is a little inside joke between.
Cement mixer.
Yeah, I'll show you. I'll tell you backstage.
That's another day, is it? That's a longer.
I'll tell you backstage. It's a quick one. But yeah, Big up to you guys for showing your support. Big up to you guys for being in the chat today for our discussion, my discussion here with Alex. And we'll see you again on the next stream. Big up, Alex. Big up, chat. Big up, everyone. Have a wonderful night. We'll see you again soon. Stay casual. Peace.